What's up, everyone? Welcome back to our weekly rundown. Brian, let's get into it. A lot of interesting things this week, right?
Dude, there's always something interesting. We say it every time we get on this show. Now we got hacks, we got major movements in the market. There's all sorts of stuff going on.
Yeah, let's dive into the fun stuff that's happening right now. The markets, I didn't notice until after I responded to all my friends that it is taking a little bit of a correction. A little bit is probably the wrong wording for it, but it seems like the markets are afraid of the tariffs. Consumer confidence plunges in nearly 4 years as inflation fears escalate on Trump tariff threats. So we're now back to the Solana support range where it was before Trump launched his meme coin. Yeah, give us your thoughts on the overall market there, Brian.
Yeah, we got hit kind of hard recently. In the tariffs getting announced yesterday were certainly, I don't want to say surprising, but it looks like it had a negative impact on the markets overall. But I'm still trying to personally develop a thesis why we've gotten hit so hard. We're used to bad news in crypto, happens all the time. But we've seen some major downward movements. And personally, I'm not even really sure. I even did it on one of our market updates. It feels like some of our favorite cryptos are on sale right now. And personally, if I had to guess, nobody, not financial advice, but it does feel very like a local bottom, in my opinion, especially in Bitcoin.
Yeah, let's get into what's happening. A lot of people don't know why the dip, but let's share some high level of what's happened so far. We are 2 months into 2025, and you guys don't have to zoom in. I'm going to break it down for you. We have the Trump meme coin, followed by the Melania meme coin fiasco. The Ledger co-founder got kidnapped. Africa launches a token called CAR, Central Africa, which then gets rug pulled. Argentina president is in cahoots with his meme coin launch. People don't think that Argentina actually launched it, but he teamed up with some questionable folks. I think he wants to be like Trump, and he's following the Trump playbook, and he thought that he could do really well with this meme coin. Anyways, Kanye is launching a meme coin supposedly, but supposedly sells his Twitter account for 17 million. Dave Portnoy is in on the Argentina scam. He talks about jail stool. CZ's talking about test tokens. Sam Bankman Freeze tweeting us from prison. How does he have a cell phone? But that's I'm just curious, right? Mass extrapolation or attention for a lot of chain launches, Abstract, Chain, Uni, Monad. I mean, we're not even 2 months in, and let's just get into, and that's not even the crazy stuff. Bybit got hacked for $1.5 billion. We have OKX settling with the SEC for $500 million. We have a massive, exodus from Solana. They have a major token unlock happening. I mean, there's just been a barrage of, I wouldn't say negativity, but it is negative news. Like this happened week after week along we didn't talk about DeepSeek. DeepSeek
Mhm.
uprooting the US markets because of China, AI. Whew. Brian, talk to me.
Interesting couple. I mean, a lot of those things you just shared, not only are we 2 months in, are like in the past 2 to 3 weeks, which is really amazing to me. It's I guess I'm just gonna go back from the fundamentals here. Even though we had all that FUD, and I mean, a hack for $1.5 billion with a B in Ethereum. And by the way, they're repaying back their customers. So how much are these exchanges making is even more surprising. But we've had all this negative news, but still, at the end of the day, there is tons of news to be positive about. I mean, we're talking about strategic reserves. We're talking about the most pro crypto president. We have builders and founders flocking to the United States because of the current administration. I don't know. I feel like it's an overreaction personally, Joe. I'm not sweating it. I mean, you and I have both been through our fair share of bear and bull markets. And if you think the cycle is over, then I guess that's a reason to be bearish, obviously, because you think the cycle's over. I don't think the cycle's over by any means. I think this is a standard correction or FUD within a normal crypto cycle. Even in a bull run, these things happen. We see these major corrections and then we go up only. I do foresee that we could see pain for, a few more days, a few more weeks. I'm surprised Bitcoin is currently at the price it's at. Well, what price is Bitcoin right now, Joe, by the way?
87,000.
Man, 87,000. So I was watching that pretty closely yesterday when it was at 94, and I know our first support level was right around like 91, 92, and then 88 was another support level. And we've gone through both of those. And even though you listed a plethora of reasons why people are selling, it still doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It just doesn't. I am personally, again, not financial advice. I'm personally buying some of my favorite bags right now because I look at this long term. And a lot of those are Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum. Those three macros definitely feel oversold, in my opinion.
I 100% agree with you. There's a lot of good news that's buried underneath the bad because, maybe what bleeds leads. Like there's SEC lawsuits being dropped by the day. This is Robinhood. We know Coinbase SEC just got dropped. We know Ripple just got dropped. I mean, everything's getting dropped and all the ETFs are moving forward. Michael Saylor notably is buying every single week and he just joined forces on some groundbreaking crypto regulation framework. Brian, talk to me about this. You know about this.
Yeah, it's really interesting. He did the digital assets doc. He basically laid it out, and it's a pretty good document. We'll probably share it with our private community during the newsletter this week, just because it's pretty straightforward. He laid out the foundation and pretty much what it means and how, as the United States, how we need to move forward. And Saylor put some wild numbers in there. We know he is the ultimate Giga Chad. He just bought $2 billion worth more of Bitcoin, I think, just a couple of days ago. And he put some crazy numbers in it. So if you need any sort of hopium, take a look at that digital asset doc by Michael Saylor because he has some crazy numbers out there. But it was a great and very simple paper. It was almost oversimplified in my mind, and that's not a bad thing. But really, he also, one thing that stuck out in that paper is how buying Bitcoin specifically was going to help chip away at the national debt. And I don't know, it just feels like he's on to something there. I know he's just I don't want to say recklessly, but he is just again, he's the ultimate Giga Chad. He just buys so much Bitcoin, leveraging money. He definitely sees a path where Bitcoin is a solution for a lot of reasons for the United States, for individuals. And I tend to agree with him at the end of the day. That's why I feel like Bitcoin's completely oversold right now. And I'm not necessarily upset about it because every time everybody and their mother wanted to buy Bitcoin at $105,000. We were talking about that earlier today, Joe. Now we're sitting at what, 87, 88, and people are freaking out and selling their bags. So that never makes a lot of sense to me. And something I always say about you and I, we do zig when everybody else zags. So when things feel oversold, when the market just feels like it's overreacting, and you see a clear path with an administration that's supporting Web3, supporting crypto legislation. We're talking about a strategic reserve. All those things kind of feel like they've dropped off. We were talking about it every day for a while there, and maybe that's where maybe we were talking about the strategic reserve too much at one point, and now we're not talking about it enough, in my opinion. These are some really big moves. So it feels like Bitcoin's on sale. Anybody that's texted me and they're like, is Bitcoin going to zero? I'm like, absolutely not. On the other hand, I'm buying more. There doesn't seem a real fundamental reason why we're making this crash.
Yeah, and another reason that it could be is because of market manipulation. So what does Citadel have to do with this? Citadel is looking to enter in as a market maker for crypto exchanges, basically providing liquidity, right, in different forms and fashion. Citadel has over 60 billion in assets, one of the top 10 hedge funds in the world. So why is this important? And that is because let's take a look at this next message here by Ben Zhao. So basically, Ben is the CEO of Bybit that got hacked for $1.4 billion, but they made $423 million in profit in one day off of liquidating leverage traders. So basically, market makers make a lot of money when the markets get liquidated. And I'm not the expert here, but supposedly market makers make backdoor deals with companies like Citadel, with exchanges, and they get the tokens, they get the assets from these individuals, institutions, exchanges, and they dump the open market, where then Citadel and the market makers make a ton of money. So supposedly that's kind of what's going on with Bybit to, that's why there's a move downwards because they're liquidating leverages and then they benefited $423 million. So a lot of people are calling that this tweet from Ben is to defend the liquidations, which he kind of confirms. They don't make all the money, but they make a ton. And he had to make some money back somehow, right? Of his $1.4 billion loss. And that's what's happening, I believe, because manipulation in these markets is definitely happening. And Citadel, back to Citadel, it's like, well, I want some of those fees. All I gotta do is provide liquidity. I got a ton of that. So that's kind of what's happening here. And I'll get to your thoughts in a second, Brian. And I kind of want to connect it to this, which is gold being audited. So what does this have to do with gold? And that's because, I think gold is manipulated. I think like gold is at an all-time high because why? Because some nation states value it, but there's absolutely zero value in gold. It's hard. No, no. Contrary to Michael Saylor, to move gold back and forth costs millions and billions of dollars, and that's kind of what's happening now between. I'm not sure you heard about this, Brian. Europe, London specifically, and Chase, they're kind of like shipping gold back and forth to make money on the arbitrage, and that just costs so much money. And it's very interesting because the counter to that is Bitcoin, right? And that's maybe another reason Bitcoin's going down because gold is at its all-time high. And I kind of see this kind of manipulation kind of for me being is what's happening all around. So that's kind of my 2 cents of what's going on.
Yeah, the gold call out's a pretty interesting one, Joe, because they have speculated. I read somewhere, so someone might need to fact check me on this, but the majority of the gold at Fort Knox is actually fake. They say it's like iron bars covered with like an inch of gold. And if you're not paying to get a full core audit when they essentially drill a hole in the middle of it and pull out the center of the bar to make sure it's real gold, you really don't know if that's real gold. And of course, nobody really wants to do that if it's your gold because you that's not a good look at the end of the day. Value of Fort Knox goes down. It looks like you were conned. I understand why gold's going up because we look at that as a safe asset. It has a lot of similar principles to Bitcoin at the end of the day. But I don't know. Bitcoin being digital gold makes so much sense to me. With gold, you need to have armed guards guarding it 24/7. It's very different. You're not going to Starbucks and chipping it off for your cup of coffee. I mean, I don't think Bitcoin is going to be used that way, but at least you can use it as a payment facilitator if you wish. So it's very interesting to see how that works. I really believe in the thesis when people say Bitcoin is digital gold and how it can replace gold's market cap is a really strong thesis in my eyes. And back to Citadel, whenever that news broke yesterday, it felt like very bullish news in my mind. But the more I kind of dug deep into it, I was wondering why there was like so much hate on the timeline of it. And I'm starting to fully kind of understand. I understand they want to provide liquidity, they want to buy and sell assets, they want to put teams in and outside the United States. And Ken Griffin, he wants to be a market maker. And that guy has one of the most successful hedge funds of all time. I don't know if you remember, but during like the post-COVID days, like I think he really upped the value of a lot of like Palm Springs properties because of what he was doing down there. So he definitely likes power and he likes money and he's in to make money at the end of the day. And we all are in crypto, but there's another sector of us who really look at it as disrupting the financial world. And now I kind of see why people are kind of hating on it. I'm not really sure if I'm bullish or bearish on Citadel getting in, but I can see both sides of the story. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, after reading what's happening with Bybit and kind of how market makers make their money, of course I can see the bull case for them getting in and a bear case for them getting in. But just interesting to see that overall the markets are manipulated. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Whether it be gold or whether it be crypto is no different. It might be even easier on crypto, for that matter. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of manipulation. I mean, not we know there's manipulation in the Web3 TradFi world. But yeah, definitely interesting to kind of see this transparency. I just like the transparency overall in the crypto markets. Even though there's a lot of manipulation, we could find it, we could see what's happening with the blockchain, and at least with Bitcoin in comparison to gold, it's audited 24/7. You don't gotta. I don't like my tax dollars going to guard fake gold. But for
Yeah.
any nation states listening, we have the gold because what I've heard is that if we really don't have the gold in there, then the dollar is screwed. So we want either gold in there or we want the digital equivalent of gold in terms of Bitcoin at least. So I think those things will come to a head. Hopefully, we come out of this unscathed. But that's kind of what I love about what we do. We get to talk about the fun silliness of the world and have fun. And that's really what got me into, digital assets. Is Bitcoin is boring, but there's a lot of fun stuff in there. And we like talking about meme coins. And although the meme coins have got decimated, Sailor is still out here putting out memes, considering a second job to acquire more Bitcoin. It would just be hilarious if we had an actual clip of Sailor flipping burgers at McDonald's. But yeah, memes. So what's going on in the world of memes? Well, Unicorn Fart does isn't going away. He's quietly. He is teaming up with Ledger. He teamed up with MoonPay. He actually had on the CEO Luca Netz of the founder of Pudgy Penguins on a live stream. I mean, this guy is swinging. So that's interesting to see that Unicorn Fart Dust is still around, still securing spots. Get on him. And yeah, I was just curious what's happening innovative wise in the world of memes. And East Denver's coming up. So if you guys want to find Brian, he'll be there, okay, with armed guards, okay, just saying. So Pudgy Penguins have some events and partnerships with AI, and that's kind of what I wish to happen with memes here, is having more innovation. And so a buddy asked me this before I jumped onto a rundown. He goes, "What do you think is going to help the NFT space?" And I said, "Easy, AI." So there hasn't been any meaningful integration. So here's Waifu, which is a DAO sort of AI type of play. But what they've done is just allowed you to create your NFT into an AI for speculative purposes, not really integrating the AI technology with them. And the reason I just bring that up is because I, for one, think that a lot of meme coins will integrate AI. And my friend's like, "Well, what does that have to do with real world use case?" I was like, "None." Like, it's just a hot spot. Like, I can see it being the next pump is like, oh, AI meme coins. And then I put yet, meaning like not yet, meaning there could be real world implications of AI and meme coins. I'm already tipping people, streamers with meme coins. So I could definitely see, you know, you know, meme coins evolving. But at the end of the day, it's just memes. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I see can happen in the next cycle. I think this cycle is absolutely over for the time being. It's still a long year. We got 10 months to go before end of 2025, but definitely I can see that kind of being the next wave is just something for people to pump is AI and memes.
Yeah, really well said there, Joe. It's almost difficult to even follow up. You nailed every point that I wanted to make. I guess one point is I definitely think we talk about trust in this Libra token and kind of like what Portnoy was doing at the end of the day. I thought he had something good going there with Jailstool, but then he started pumping and dumping afterwards with like Greed 1, Greed 2, Greed 3. It kind of made everyone within like the Solana trenches realize that, hey, this game is not rigged in our favor. Now, I am still actually a believer in meme coins, but it's the meme coins that we talk about within our private community that have true communities, future possible utility, maybe same day utility or real utility, but it's just a rabid community that wants to push a driving force forward. So I think there's the cream's going to rise to the top with a lot of these meme coins, and I do think there's going to be some that do eclipse their all-time high. But more likely, a lot of these ones, I mean, what there was like tens to twenties of thousands of these being created every single day. There were daily runners from 100,000 to 100 million and instantly dumped. I think those days are past us. And honestly, I'm not upset about that either. If you're Joe or I, or you're within our private community, those are some really difficult coins to catch because it is harder to catch those than being a casino because you could buy in an hour later, it goes to a complete zero. Then you find out that there's all these cabals or insiders involved, and it's just like, get rid of this. And honestly, that's why I've migrated really a lot of my interest over to the AI crypto space we talk about all the time, Joe, offline with our private community. Because I do see there's a component of meme coins there where like the community, but then there's this layer of utility and real world aspects, and it's just so new that I am extremely interested in these AI agents and these AI platforms every single day are evolving. But I agree with you. I think like just the pure meme coins of a cute dog or a cute animal, those days are pretty much cooked. There's going to be some like the Pepes of the world. I think Pepe's gonna weather this storm and still be out there because of how long it's been, how many holders it has, how strong the community is. I do see a path where it could get to its all-time high again. I'm not buying it anytime soon because everything's getting washed out. But a lot of these other ones are donezo, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, de definitely. I think at times people don't like to face reality, and sometimes you have to take these losses. Some people call it tuition, right? And then so you can learn for the next cycle, because every cycle is a little bit different. When, Doge came out, it was like the only meme coin, and then when Bonk followed, it was like the only meme coin on Solana. So this next cycle is not going to be the same. It's not going to be, it has to be something different integrated. So that's why I think AI is a big play. Who knows what it's going to be? It could be another blockchain, it could become something completely different than memes. Very interested to see where the puck goes. Me and you strongly believe it's AI, and I'm definitely, eyeing some more AI blockchains. We've definitely been talking to more AI blockchains on our podcast. So, do you have any thoughts about, just AI overall, Brian, besides memes?
I love that sector. I do. I mean, I think some of the top ones out there, the AI 16Zs of the world, the virtuals of the world, the ARCs of the world, I am a big fan of them. Full disclosure, I have bags of those projects. Even though they've corrected, I see a path where they could eclipse their all-time highs again. They're still building, they're putting real-world aspects behind what they're doing. And honestly, during this washout over the past few days, when Solana's gone from what I think it was $200 on the 14th, it might have been closer to that. So under 2 weeks ago it was $200, and now what were we at, like $140? So we've seen a pretty big correction. I do think it's a good time to kind of get into Solana, but that's another discussion. A lot of these AI coins haven't been hit nearly as hard. Now that could be because a couple weeks before this washout, they got hit pretty hard with the what's the AI company? DeepSeek. DeepSeek news, and just a lot of those got hit hard. So a lot of these AI coins have actually done okay. And I'm looking at it right now. A few have flipped green on the day. So that's encouraging. Again, you can't just launch an AI project and put AI at the end of the name and think it's going to go to 100 million now. Those days are over. But really, the top tier ones that are building, trying to disrupt industries, improve gaming, improve AI agents, improve decentralized finance. I think that's the ticket. I think that's the next leg up. But of course, we need Solana to rebound as well before those really start running.
Yeah, we had a conversation with some of my soul buddies, and they're feeling the pain the worst because soul trenches are getting, wrecked. But I tell everyone, Soul's Las Vegas, ran by mafia members. People's gonna come back to Las Vegas. And when they come back to Las
Yeah.
Vegas, they're gonna have to buy the casino chips. So definitely Solana ETF. I am not concerned. The people that got hurt the most is the ones that speculated the most, right? But definitely there's innovation also. And like you mentioned, it's gonna take some time because cryptocurrency was looking to disrupt finance, and it took what 16 years for that to finally happen. NFTs, meme coins, is that going to be innovative? Is that going to have a staying power? Absolutely. It's just going to take some time, because all the speculativeness is gone, which I love. That's why we think these are the most exciting times. Myself and Brian, we kind of forged ourselves in fire, and this is where the true builders are, the true innovation is, right? Because all the tourists are gone. That's what my friend calls it. All the tourists is gone. But we welcome you back though to pump our bags later on though. So please do come back. And I still love the space because of the small innovations that do at times pop up. And more importantly, you say this a lot, but it's true. The community members, whether it be in meme coins or NFTs, I love that community. I love what they're doing. I love what they're representing. Some of them. With that said, let's talk about some NFTs. And you definitely make some great calls with their private community. And I could pull it up, but you could talk about it. You made this call, and I didn't know much about it, but talk to us about. I mean, I heard of them, but talk to us about why this is doing so well. On-chain heroes. This called a 3 to 4x from when you called it our private community?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to mint this, even though I've been following this project since its early days. I think I did before we kind of moved over to the Momentum Moneymakers. We talked a lot about NFTs, and when this project first hit my radar, I was like, this is a very interesting project. It launched on Abstract, pixelated, kind of fun there. You know, if you've been in NFTs, everyone seems to like pixelated art, but it's done really well. I bought a few of these at a lower floor price than it is now, but you know, so I'm doing okay, but nothing near the mint price. I think the mint price was zero point zero 0.05, and then if you were whitelisted, maybe zero point zero 0.06 Ethereum. So some people absolutely cooked on it, but I can't get enough of it. It's a game where you just make like decisions and you can like battle and you earn their hero token, and their hero token's worth, 20, 25 cents, I think, as of today. You can level up. It's not a very engaging game. It's not a game that you're going to be addicted to. It's kind of like all these other like BS Web3 games, but they're building some very unique stuff. An interesting thing about it, the lead developer from the Wolfgang game, you remember that project back in the day, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was huge. People made like tens of thousands. Um, is connected with On-Chain Heroes, and so they're taking a lot of similar like DeFi aspects, utilizing NFTs and using it with the On-Chain Heroes. So you basically go into this world, you battle these little creatures, you set them, you basically stake them. You can unstake them at any time. You can continuously level yourself up, and then when you go to level yourself up, it actually gives you a decision like you pay this amount in hero. That's what you make when you're staking to get up one level. There's a middle person, and it's like, hey, you have a percentage chance to go up 1 or 2 levels, or you can go to the third boss and you either go down a level or you go up 3 levels, and there's probabilities there. And the higher level you get, the more money you yield. At the end of the day, it's like a DeFi NFT project. And I can see why people are into it because I'm very into it as well. I'm having a lot of fun. I at 0.42 or whatever they are, I don't want to say they're undervalued, but man, I've been thinking about buying more. And that's not financial advice, just because I've been kind of engaged on the platform. I like the DeFi aspects of it. And it's on Abstract, which has kind of been slow out the gate, but it's also a very unique way, in my opinion, to farm Abstract. Because if the Abstract tokens does come to fruition, like everyone's saying, they want you to engage in different protocols and different games, tip streamers, buy tokens. So it's something I'm doing a few times every day. Best part about this on-chain hero game, you only need like 5 to 10 minutes a day to really make 1 or 2 decisions, and then you passively earn. So I've had a lot of fun with it. I'm gonna share my screen here, Joe. Um, Hopefully I'm doing it right. And I wanted to talk a little bit about punks. And we didn't talk about this beforehand, but I was just looking at them because I am like I love crypto punks. Everybody does. I mean, it's a $100,000 asset. Well, that's why I brought it up. It's they're down to 82 and 34
Wow.
Ethereum, which is kind of a juicy price if you have 34 Ethereum laying around. Uh, I do think there's a world here where punks could outperform Bitcoin at the end of the day, but one punk is now less than one Bitcoin. We haven't seen
Mhm.
that for some time. And the floor ones are never my favorite. So if I ever was gonna like sell some Bitcoin to get one, I would have to actually go up probably at a little higher price. But I just love CryptoPunks. I think there's a path where these succeed overall. And then second to that, this was created by Matt and John at Larva Labs, was sold to Yuga Labs, and the same team who developed CryptoPunks and this developed Meebits. And this is essentially the 3D version. There's 20,000 of these in supply. They've been around forever. If you've listened to our show or you've been within NFTs, everybody and their mother knows what Meebits are. They got acquired by Yuga. And just recently, the IP in the collection was bought by Sergito, who's a very popular influencer on crypto Twitter. And we talked about this on the last rundown as well. And I think they were like zero point 0.4 when we were talking about them on the rundown. And now you can see they've 2x since then. I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up because you can see that some of these NFTs are certainly not dead at the end of the day. There's still a path here for a lot of them to succeed. And when a new ownership very similar to what Luca did with Pudgy Penguins. When new ownership comes in with a new vision, new connections, and just a way to increase the value and just the IP, I think it tells a very good story. I don't know if I'm a buyer at point 0.8 ETH for these me bits, but I've been watching them very closely because I think that the risk to reward, if you're talking about straight up NFTs, this could be a very interesting play in my opinion.
I love it. Good call out on punks. I've always wanted a punk. Me bits. I was my friend loves pixelated art. So me bits, you called it out and it pumped 2x. So good on you. It's just everyone has their own cup of tea in NFTs, and that's the great thing about it, right? I just wanted to point out something that happened recently. Bored Ape, hey, when are we seeing these prices? 30,000 for a Bored Ape is unheard of. But this is probably the real value of them. And I did want to point out that they are making moves, right? They divested Meebits. Maybe they're looking to do something. I thought they were dead, but check this out. They had 2,000, close to 200 concurrent players of their other side game. This is their metaverse play right here. And if you take a look at it, it looks pretty cool. I don't know what they're doing in there, but it seems like something is stewing or brewing over there in Yuga Labs. And I like to see, innovation in the space, which makes me sort of kind of bullish on what, you know, Yuga Labs has been doing. They're finally doing something. I guess that's maybe why they're doing something. And that's something that's well needed in the space. And that's another reason I like Pudgy's too. Pudgy's under 20,000. I might grab one. I mean,
Do it.
I I absolutely
Do
love
it
what Pudgy's.
now. Do
You
it
know why? Because
now.
we talk about innovation, right? We talk about innovation. They have their own blockchain. They're integrating meme coins. They launch with Pez. They're probably gonna launch a Lego collaboration. I think they're making a movie this year. Like they're like the Angry Birds of the crypto world. So I mean, I think it could get a little bit lower, but I'm really liking these prices. I'm liking, this community. So in the world of NFTs is what really got me to fall in love with crypto again, because I got burned in the 2017 ICO days, as I'm sure a lot of people did, right? No one learned their lessons there. But then 2021 came about NFTs. I tell my friend, I went to like 3 Top Shot events last week. I go to Napa Valley Wines for because of NFTs. I go to a restaurant because of NFTs. I love digital assets. There's definitely a place for them. I love meme coins because I'm seeing some, real world use cases for those also. And yeah, I just love what the innovations happening with AI, so I'm just really excited overall in for 2025. And I see the recent kind of just downturn, or I would actually call it FUD. I don't know if it's coordinated. A lot of people are saying Trump wants the markets down so that, he can get inflation down. He can get the Feds to lower, interest rates. So that's kind of like what I feel is happening. I think we're going to have a great 2025. It's such a long year. We got 10 more months.
I mean, look what happened in the last 2 months. I mean, that was like we could have spent an hour talking about all those headlines, and that was just the bearish stuff. There's a lot of bullish stuff going on every day, and I do look at what's happening with NFTs now is how I think meme coins are going to develop as well. The cream has definitely risen to the top here with like a lot of these top collections, and there's still opportunity, like the on-chain hero teams, but again, it all goes back down it's not like what happened in 2021 or really more 2022. Remember, any NFT mint would 3 to 5x if you could just get up your gas, get in and get out. You were just printing money. And it was difficult once that bear market hit to just reset our brains like, oh yeah, like 90% of these are just JPEGs. They don't do anything. They were just created by some guy in his basement. That's what happened with meme coins. 90% of them are just absolute trash. But now a lot of these, we saw Pudgy Penguins go all the way to like 30, 40 Ethereum at one point, get massive airdrops. I think that's going to still happen in the meme coin world. I do believe, and I've been preaching this, and maybe I'm just crazy, but I do believe we have another leg for this NFT run where NFTs take on a new shape, a new form. CryptoPunks are always going to be CryptoPunks. There's not going to be any utility with them, but they tell a story. The utility is the history, the provenance behind them. But like Meebits, Pudgy Penguins, like you said, on-chain heroes, DeFi aspects, AI integration, teams that are building and trying to innovate, use them in all sorts of different ways. I think we're going to see another very interesting NFT run. And at least when those go to zero, we still have a cool picture. at the end of the day. I've gone through my wallets in the past and it like brings back memories of the NFT run. I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember buying this. I remember buying that. And it almost put a smile on my face because I could just remember how euphoric those days were. But at the end of the day, just to wrap up my thoughts, we need the macro to tighten up and shape up. And there's going to be some pain for a couple more weeks. Just is what it is. Those macro prices are on sale. No doubt in my mind that we're going to see all-time highs in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and the alts, which have been absolutely decimated, are going to absolutely bounce back and harder than ever. That's how it works. This isn't our first cycle. This isn't our second cycle. This is not our third cycle. This happens every cycle. We see this within a bull market every cycle, these major corrections and then up only, and we don't even remember these sort of days. So I think we need the macro market to rebound, and then that's going to correlate to some of these OG meme coins. It's going to correlate. I think the AI crypto world, I think we're kind of just like we haven't peaked, even though we peaked and then dropped back. I think there's a leg up there no matter what, because that's a whole new leg. And then I do like a lot of these NFTs that not only are starting to mint like On-Chain Heroes, but some of these OG projects I've been sweating for years.
Yep, 100% agree. Definitely AI, we haven't even scratched the surface of the potential there. Unfathomable what it's going to do and disrupt. And we're going to keep an eye on that for everybody because that's what we do here at the Crypto Mavericks. We want to make sure we go where the momentum is. And definitely, we have our eyes on the pulse. If we're not trading it, the momentum's not there for sure. Yeah. So we will keep an eye for everyone. If you guys want a sneak peek on that, click on link down below to our private community. If not, we got podcasts with some amazing guests that we just recorded today, actually. We got market updates for you. So, definitely would love to have you guys around so that we can not only survive, but we're going to thrive the next few cycles.